Folks, I believe we have a banger on our hands, and not just any banger, a Star Wars Jedi banger. Look, it's your boy Juju Wrights, and let's talk about The Acolyte, episodes 1 and 2 that dropped tonight, Tuesday, June 4th, just in case you're watching this at a different time. So, me personally, as a lifelong Star Wars fan, I finally feel excited to be immersed into the world of Star Wars, and it's only because I feel as though this project has delivered on everything that I have wanted from the newer Star Wars projects, and that is Jedi awesomeness. And not only Jedi awesomeness, but we get 2 Black Jedi. I don't know if there's ever been a time where I've seen 2 Black Jedi, but we get it this time. And people, when I say this is good, this is good. Now, I liked Ahsoka. I liked Obi-Wan. I liked Andor. I liked Mandalorian. I believe there was one more Star Wars project that came out. But I feel as though that none of them have scratched that Jedi itch for me in the way that the Acolyte has. Not only do we get that Jedi awesomeness, but we are tossed into the world and the lore of the Jedi. Because reminder, this project is set 100 years in the past before Phantom Menace. So the Jedi are in their prime. You know, they maintain their prominent place in the galaxy as peacekeepers. But in this film, they seem more like the cops, like the police. One Jedi in particular, Yord, who is one of the Black Jedi, is like a super cop. Like the dude is 100% by the book, for the book. But let me get more directly into my thoughts because, like I said earlier, this show is definitely up there in terms of Star Wars content. So let's get into one of my first loves of this show, the hand-to-hand combat. Now, the hand-to-hand combat in this show is something that I necessarily didn't expect to be a main staple. Now, it was teased in the trailers, and now whatever your opinion is on the trailers, some people think they were weaker than they would have liked, especially for a new project of this caliber. But I always said that this project was going to be a sleeper, just for the simple fact that people may have Star Wars burnout. It's not like, oh, bring back the Mandalorian, bring back this. So they're a little skeptical of newer Star Wars projects. But the hand-to-hand combat in The Acolyte in the first 10 minutes of episode 1 of The Acolyte made me a believer. The first fight scene out of the gate is between May, who is played by Amanda Steinberg, and Indara, who is being played by Carrie Ann Moss. And so they come out of the gate swinging. May is duking it out with Indara. Indara is a full-fledged Jedi Master. Okay, like she's not anything to scoff at. In May, she ran up on her with the Force and some knives. I don't know what she was planning to do with that, but she said, "Hey, I'm gonna get my get back regardless." And so that was the first fight scene where I was like, "Oh, they're cooking." The second fight scene where I said, "Oh, they're cooking," came in episode 2 when May again was fighting Soul, and Soul is the main Jedi of the Jedi group, and he's being played by Lee Jung Jae, who, if you don't remember, he is from Squid Games. Apparently the guy had to learn English for this role specifically, and he doesn't miss a beat. You wouldn't be able to tell. The man couldn't speak English before this project. But hats off to the fight coordinators and all the people involved with that process, because not only are the fight scenes engaging, but they feel gritty and grounded And the only time you feel like, oh, this is Star Wars, is when the people start bringing out the Force. And what is a Star Wars project? A true Star Wars project without the Force. And man, do they use that Force. And they're not afraid to use it. It's not like some thing they bring out at the end, like, oh, last resort type thing. Like, they actually use the Force and they're not afraid to use it. And I'm so excited that that is being implemented back to Star Wars projects. So here is my second love. I mentioned Amanda Steinberg as May, but not only does she play May, but Amanda Steinberg also plays Osha. And May and Osha are ding, ding, ding twins. And that's one of the very first twists that we are exposed to in the first couple episodes. So I wouldn't say it's a major spoiler. They didn't put it in the trailers, thank God. So when we have watched something, we're like, oh, we're surprised. Awesome. But Amanda is cooking here with this role. I really do hope that this is a breakout project for her, in terms of getting her booked more often on things, because she killed that twin role. And when May popped up, when they went to arrest May, but it wasn't May, it was Osha, I was like, oh, they're cooking. Not only are they giving me Jedi awesomeness in terms of hand-to-hand combat, but they're also giving me Jedi mystery in a Jedi murder plot. We can't talk about May without murder, because May is running around murdering Jedi. But it's not like she's just going around like, oh, he's got a lightsaber, let me kill him. Apparently, this is a part of a larger scheme for May to earn true Sith status. If you don't know anything about the Sith, or what the show is named after, Acolyte, Sith acolytes were basically people who wanted to be members of the Sith. But during this time in Star Wars, the Sith were created to be only two people at a time, a master and apprentice. And this rule was implemented by, I believe dude's name is Darth Bane. And it's called the Rule of Two. So only a master and apprentice. But acolytes are supposed to try to, they want to kill the apprentices so they can become Sith. And so during all the fight scenes actually with Jedi, May tries to take, or attempts to take, their lightsabers. But she does, and then she kind of doesn't. In the Acolyte lore, the acolytes would go and kill Jedi, steal their lightsabers, turn them red, and then kill the apprentices to become Sith. And so it was making sense, and it was lining up to me as to why May was fighting the way she was fighting, and what the gesture she was doing. Now, a part of her whole arc, in a sense, I guess it'll be revealed more down the line about what exactly May is doing. I feel as though she's trying to become a Sith, and it's kind of self-explanatory, because at the end of episode 1, the guy is telling her, you're an acolyte. You don't need a weapon to kill. You can kill with your bare hands. You use the Jedi's, the Jedi's empathy. Use the Jedi's empathy against them to kill them. And so, that's what I believe May's arc is. But Amanda Steinberg plays Osha as well. Osha is the former Padawan of Lee Jung-jae's soul, and she's just chilling, trying to be a mechanic, but she's brought into the plot as they try to, as the Jedi make an arrest, trying to find justice for the killing of Endara, which happened in the first 2 minutes of episode 1. So it was definitely an interesting twist to see that, and to see Amanda play those juxtaposing characters. It'll be interesting to see how it progresses further. Now, to my next love is Lee Jung-jae's Soul. Soul gives the vibes of Qui-Gon, who is played by Liam Neeson in the not the original trilogy, but the prequel. In the prequel trilogies, he's played by Liam Neeson. And so Soul kind of gives those vibes in terms of being, a father figure, and he's stoic. He carries himself with a lot of grace. And so you kind of get those Qui-Gon vibes off of him. But there's this very clearly regret. He remembers Osha and May very fondly. And I sense you can tell about how Lee Jung-jae is playing Soul that he has some regret about how he found the twins and what happened on their homeworld. I mean, it's very explained in the first couple episodes that it's told to us that May started a fire that killed May and Osha's family, but I predict down the line that something else happened and it set May and Osha on very two different paths. But I love the twin aspect, me being a twin myself. It gives a different vehicle for which the story can be told. And so Lee Jung-jae plays so perfectly. Daphne Keane, who played infamously X-23 in Logan, she's in this as well. I'm waiting for her to have her standout moment. She's there. She sang her lines. I feel as though at this point in the show, anybody could have played that role. But hopefully down the line, why she was picked is more apparent. But Charlie Barnett, who plays Yord, the other Black Jedi, who has the infamous Killmonger Miles Morales haircut with like the high top dreads. They give every black character that I think Disney did it once with Killmonger and was like, yeah, every black character after that, black male, he's definitely going to be rocking the Killmonger vibes. And so, but Charlie Barnett killed his role as Yord so far. And like I mentioned earlier, Yord is like the super cop, the Jedi cop, the by the book guy. And so it'll be interesting to see how their character dynamics all play off of each other moving deeper into the episode. And so not only do I love the performances that were given or the hand-to-hand combat, but each episode leaves us with a taste of wanting more, aka cliffhanger endings. And these cliffhanger endings leave us as the audience wanting more. And I am super, super, super excited to see where this show is going. It's a strong start. It's a solid start. And hopefully Amandla doesn't get the type of backlash other black actresses and actors have had in the Star Wars universe, which is a main reason why being a Star Wars fan is so hard, because the black talent is just not treated well. The women talent, they aren't treated well. The only one who was treated well was Samuel L. Jackson. That's because Samuel L. Jackson is Samuel Jackson. He's a legend. But I hope Amandla is not given a whole bunch of BS for this role. I think she did amazing. Other people may have other opinions, but regardless of what you think, the girl is getting a Disney check. So, you can't be too mad at that. And she's killing the role. I hope we see more of Indara. I hope they didn't use Carrie Ann Moss for 10 minutes of screen time. That would be rather tragic, and I hope that's not what we're given, but it very well could be. I'm excited. Jodie Turner-Smith is also cast in this show as a character named Mother Anasia. And so I'm excited to see her role as well and how it plays out. Definitely had a cliffhanger ending on episode 2. I will be covering this show every week, so come back next week and I'll have fresh new conversation on episodes 3 for you. But this has been another Juju Writes Review. Keep it locked.